Welcome to Energy Code ACE Title 20 Essentials, Documentation for Adding Appliance Data. My name is Carolyn Richter, and I'm your host today along with my colleague Steve McCarty. We're both from Energy Solutions, an energy efficiency and demand management consulting firm based in Oakland, California, and we're here on behalf of the California Statewide Codes and Standards Program.
This module describes the documentation you'll need to provide when submitting appliances to the MAEDBS and with the documentation required by each company type. This training is brought to you by the California Statewide Codes and Standards Program, which is jointly managed by Pacific Gas and Electric Company, Southern California Edison, Southern California Gas Company, and San Diego Gas and Electric Company. It's funded by California utility customers under the auspices of the California Public Utilities Commission. First, let's take a look at test lab documentation. Test labs must be approved by the Energy Commission before a manufacturer or a third-party certifier can cite that lab in appliance data submission. A third-party certifier must be approved by the Energy Commission before it can submit appliance data on behalf of a manufacturer. In either case, the way a company gets approval from the Energy Commission is to submit an application. This section addresses the paperwork that test labs have to complete before that lab's data can be submitted to the MAEDBS. By paperwork, we're not referring to actual papers, but the online forms you'll need to complete. Let's get started with test lab approvals. First, if you do not have a company account or user ID in the MAEDBS, please review the following account module, Registering and Managing an Account. Every appliance submission to the MAEDBS must identify a test lab as the provider of the test data to be submitted. To submit an online application and to be recognized as a test lab, your company must first be registered with the MAEDBS. It's important to note that every appliance type requires a test lab and test method approval from the Energy Commission. Test labs can find the different application online forms once you're logged into the MAEDBS. If a test lab tests different kinds of appliances, it needs to submit one or more applications to the Energy Commission for each of those appliance types. You must get approval before you can cite those test labs during an application submission. It's important to remember that all test lab approvals expire at the end of the calendar year, December 31st, and you'll need to reapply if you want to be an approved test lab. We recommend that you send applications in a few months prior to the end of the year in order to allow sufficient time for processing. First, log in to MAEDBS. If you've registered as more than one company type, you'll need to make a selection. Select Test Lab, then hit Next to go to the Test Laboratory homepage. Hover over Applications on the blue ribbon, then click on Test Laboratory Application. The first section is information about the test lab and is auto-filled by MAEDBS. Use the second section to identify the appliance types and test methods requested. The third section is for an optional uploading of test report documents, should you want to submit those to the California Energy Commission. The last section contains a declaration of 7 statements. Read them carefully. Each one must be checked to show that you understand and agree to the statement. Lastly, the name and title of the authorized representative of the lab, along with a date, are shown at the bottom of the page. Now Carolyn is going to give us a demonstration of the test laboratory application process.
So in order for a test laboratory to be listed in MAEDBS as an approved laboratory for manufacturers and third-party certified to test regulated products through, I need to submit a test laboratory application using MAEDBS. If your company is registered as more than one company type in MAEDBS, you'll need to select the company type you'd like to proceed as in this session. So since I want to access the test laboratory application, I'm going to enter as a test lab. And as a side note, if your company is only registered as one company type, say you're only registered as a test lab, once you log in, you'll go straight to the test lab homepage. You won't need to make the selection of the company type. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And this takes me to the test laboratory home. So to submit a test laboratory application, I hover over Applications on the blue ribbon and click on Test Laboratory Application in the drop-down menu. And this brings me to the test laboratory application. So the first section is the company information, which is automatically filled out by MAE DBS using your company information in your account. So that's all taken care of. The next section is the appliance type and test method selection. You can, under one application, you can apply for approval to test one or more types of appliances using one or more types of test methods. You do not need to submit a separate application for each appliance type or each test method that you are capable of performing. In order to add appliance types and test methods, you hit Add, and then you'll need to select the appliance. Close washers and select the test method. If you want to add more, continue back down to the appliance type and test method selection and hit Add again. Now I want to add the motor product. I also test electric motors using this test method. Hit Next. I could continue now to add more appliance types and test methods, but for now I'm good with this application. So I'll select these two to include them on the application. After you've added the appliance type and test methods, the next section on the application is Documents. This section is for the optional uploading of test report documents. So as noted in the Energy Commission's requirements, test laboratories are not required to submit test report documents until requested by the Energy Commission. You are required to keep a record of all test reports. You don't have to upload them to MAE DBS. So I'm going to skip uploading documents. I don't want to upload any test reports at this time. And I'm going to continue down to the last part of the application, which is the declaration. The declaration in this application contains 7 statements, which you need to read very carefully, and each one must be checked to show that you understand and agree to the statement. So as you read each one and recognize that you understand and accept it, you're going to check the checkbox. And then at the bottom of the page, the final thing to do is enter your name, title, and date. Keep in mind that when you're entering your name here, and your title and the date, that this serves as an electronic signature to this legal document. You're agreeing to all these statements and signing your signature. And now that I've added everything I want to add, all of the test methods, and filled out all the required information, I'm ready to hit Submit. Hitting Submit displays the message at the top of the screen that the record was saved successfully and gives me an application number. And now if I go home, I can see that this application was submitted today. If I select it, you can look at it again and see what's pending. So now that you've submitted your application, you're just pending approval from the Energy Commission in order to be listed in MAE DBS as being capable of performing the test methods specified in that application for the appliance types that you just submitted.
Now it's time to check your understanding.
Now let's look at third-party certifier documentation. So where we are in the certification process is that we're submitting appliance data as a third-party certifier. And in order to do this, there are a few key pieces of information that need to fall into place. First is the third-party certifier application. So a company or association must submit a third-party certifier application through the online form in MAE DBS. And the Energy Commission must approve this application before they are an approved third-party certifier that manufacturers can use to submit data. Once they are approved, they remain active indefinitely. There's no need for third-party certifiers to reapply as test labs do each year. And then once they are approved, any manufacturer may submit a delegation of authority application to use the third-party certifier to submit appliance data on the manufacturer's behalf. After this section, we'll continue to go forward on the delegation of authority, but right now we're just focused on the third-party certifier application. So to submit the third-party certifier application, you need to log in to MAE-DBS as a third-party certifier. So when you log in, if you have registered in MAE-DBS as multiple company types, you'll have to select the third-party certifier type to continue. If you're only registered as a third-party certifier, you don't need to worry about selecting the company type when you log in. Once you've selected third-party certifier, click Next to go to the third-party certifier homepage. This is where you can access the blue ribbon to highlight applications, and it'll drop down with your different application options. You cannot submit appliance data until you have had an approved third-party certifier application. So that's the first step. Go ahead and click on third-party certifier application to continue. So this will bring you to the third-party certifier application. As with the other applications, it starts with the company information, which is autofilled with the information under your company account in MAE-DBS. The second section is the certifier type, so you'll need to check all the boxes that apply, whether you're a trade association or test lab or a manufacturer or other type of company that is a third-party certifier. The third section is documents. This is an optional upload of relevant documents. And the fourth section is a declaration. There are 3 statements you'll need to read very carefully, and you must agree to these statements in order to submit the application. And finally, there's a space to enter your name, your title, and your date. This is your signature on this document, this legal document. All right, so now I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to go through the third-party certifier application process.
In order to become an approved third-party certifier in MAE-DBS, you'll need to submit a third-party certifier application. So in order to do that, you need to log into MAE-DBS, and if your company is registered under more than one company type, you'll need to select which company type you'd like to proceed as when you log in. So in this case, I'm registered as more than one company type, and I'm going to select third-party certifier to proceed to the third-party certifier homepage. Now, if you've only registered under one company type, if you're only registered as a third-party certifier, you won't need to make this selection. You'll just automatically continue to the third-party homepage once you've logged in. So once I'm at the third-party certifier homepage, I'm going to hover over Applications in the blue ribbon, which will bring a drop-down menu with 2 options. In order to submit appliance data as a third-party certifier, again, you must be approved as a third-party certifier, so you must first submit this application and receive approval from the Energy Commission. So I'm going to click on third-party certifier application, and it takes me to the application. The first section on the application is the company information. This is already filled out using your company information saved in MAE-DBS, so it's filled out automatically. The second part of the application is selecting your certifier type. What type of company are you? I am a test laboratory in this case, and I want to be a third-party certifier. Documents is the third section, is an optional uploading of documents. So this would be if you want to upload test documents, but you're not required to, so I'm going to skip that section. And the last section of the application is the declaration. So there are 3 statements here you need to very carefully read, and you'll need to check each one to show that you've read, understand, and agreed to each of the statements. And finally, you'll need to submit your e-signature, which serves as your signature for this legal document, and that you read, understand, and agree to the declaration and everything is accurate and correct. And scroll up. Once you've done filling out the application, hit Submit. And this will display a message on your screen that the record was saved successfully and give you the application number that you can reference. So now you need to wait for approval from the Energy Commission to be able to submit appliance data. And once your third-party certifier application has been approved from the Energy Commission, you'll be able to submit appliance data on behalf of any manufacturers who submit a delegation of authority form to you.
Now let's look at the manufacturer delegation of authority. Log in to MAE-DBS. If you registered as more than one company type, you'll need to select Manufacturer and then click Next to go to the manufacturer homepage. If you haven't registered as more than one company type, you'll go directly to the manufacturer homepage. Once there, hover over the Applications on the blue ribbon and then click on Delegation of Authority Application. Next, you'll need to identify the company to which you're delegating authority. This is done by hitting on the Search button on the upper part of the screen. Once you've identified the company, data for that company will be autofilled by the MAE-DBS. Data for your manufacturing company will also be autofilled by MAE-DBS based on your login. Last section, you'll need to read carefully 7 statements, each one of which must be checked to show that you understand and agree to the statement. Lastly, you'll need to fill in the name and title of the authorized representative of the manufacturing company along with the date at the bottom of the page. Entering your name serves as your electronic signature for this legal document. Now Carolyn is going to walk us through a demonstration of the manufacturer delegation of authority process.
In order for a manufacturer to allow a third-party certifier to certify appliance data on their behalf, they'll need to submit a delegation of authority form to each third-party certifier they'd like to use. So to start off, you'll access the delegation of authority form from the manufacturer homepage. If when you set up your company in MAE-DBS, you set it up under several company types, you'll need to select the company type you'd like to proceed as, in this case, manufacturer. If you're only set up in MAE-DBS as a manufacturer, you won't need to make this selection when you log in. You'll automatically be taken to the manufacturer homepage. So from the manufacturer home, you'll find the delegation of authority under Applications on the blue ribbon in the drop-down menu. So you'll select Delegation of Authority Application. And this takes you to the Manufacturer Delegation of Authority to Third-Party Certifier for Submittal to the California Energy Commission application page. So make sure you follow all of the instructions as always. In this case, the first section is not automatically filled out because you'll need to select the certifying company that you are delegating your authority to. So in order to do that, you hit Search, and this brings you to the company search page. So under the company type, you'll want to search for a third-party certifier and hit Search to use the new filter. And this will bring up a list of approved third-party certifiers in the system. So you can make your selection of which one you'd like to use. This is a third-party certifier I'd like to delegate my authority to. And just double check that this is correct before you continue down the application. But as you see, once you've selected a certifying company in the company search, that part of the application will automatically be filled in with their information. Then continuing down the application, the manufacturer information section is already filled out using your information saved in your company account in MAE-DBS. And finally, the last part of the application is the declaration. There are 7 statements that you'll need to read very carefully, and you'll need to check each one to show that you understand and agree to the statement. Once you've checked all the statements, you'll need to enter your electronic signature. Entering your electronic signature here shows that you have read and agreed and understand all these statements in the declaration. And remember, this is a legal document that you are signing your name to. So once you're done, scroll up and hit Submit to submit your delegation of authority to the certifying company you've designated on this page. This will return a message at the top of the screen that your record was saved successfully, your delegation of authority request has been established, and it gives you an application number that you can reference.
Now it's time to check your understanding. Now we're going to review certification packets, the information that manufacturers and third-party certifiers will need when submitting appliance data. Appliance certification packets are key elements of data submittal. If you're making appliance submissions using the Excel upload, you'll need to use the Excel templates found in the relevant appliance certification packet. Certification packets are available for every regulated product type. You'll first need to determine the appliance types for which you're submitting data. We suggest that you choose or create a directory on your computer where you can keep your appliance submission documentation for easy reference. Make sure you understand how the file download process works with your own browser. If you need to determine whether or not a product is regulated under Title 20, check the Appliance Efficiency Regulations. Remember, 1601 determines the scope of Title 20, telling you what types of products are covered, and Section 1602 has specific definitions of what products specifically are encompassed by the regulations. To find certification packets, first go to the Energy Commission's Appliance Efficiency homepage. Then click on Compliance. Next, you'll be taken to the Appliance Efficiency Compliance screen. Scroll down to the Instructions section. Then, click the Certification Packets for Appliances link to go to the next screen. Next, you'll see a list of appliance categories. Click on the relevant product category to access the relevant product types. There, you'll download a zip file of the certification package for your specific product type. Each packet contains 3 files: general instructions, which apply to all appliances, appliance-specific instructions, and an Excel template. Remember, this Excel template is particular to each appliance type. The general instructions file is useful for all new MAE DBS users. It gives guidance for a number of things, including how to register a new account and how to submit company type applications, that is, a manufacturer, a test lab, or a third-party certifier. The second file you'll find in your certification packet is the appliance-specific instructions file. Appliance-specific instructions describe the specific process you'll need to go through for the appliance you've chosen. It gives detailed guidance and requirements and formats for appliance data submissions, whether you use the manual or online form or the Excel upload. The third file you'll find as part of the certification packet is the Excel template file, which is really a worksheet. We suggest you save the original file and make copies to fill out and submit. Carefully follow the appliance-specific instructions about completing each field. You can submit a maximum of 1,000 products on a single spreadsheet. If you need more information on the Excel template and how to use it, go to the module Steps for Adding Appliance Data. Now Carolyn is going to give us a demonstration on how to access certification packets.
To access the certification packets for appliances, you'll need to find them on the Energy Commission's website. So you need to go to the URL energy.ca.gov/appliances, and this will take you to the Appliance Efficiency Program webpage. So here you can find the latest appliance efficiency regulations or Title 20, report non-compliance, get information on enforcement, and lots of other information as well as accessing the appliance efficiency database. For now, I want to go to Forms, which are located under Compliance right next to this handy little Forms icon. So click on Compliance. This will take you to the Appliance Efficiency Compliance page. And you'll notice that it's appliances/forms/index in the URL. And if you scroll down to the instructions, the first bullet in the instructions guides you to downloading the certification packet for each appliance type. So there's the link. Click on Certification Packets for Appliances. And this will take you to a page that displays currently 14 product categories under which you'll need to identify which one is holding the appliance type that you're looking for. Notice that each of these product categories has a column for the last modified date. So remember to keep in mind that these certification packets are updated periodically, and when you're adding or modifying appliance data in MAE-DBS, it is incredibly important that you're using the most up-to-date certification packet because the instructions may change, or if you're using Excel upload, the Excel template may have changed. So always download the most recent certification packet. And for this example, I'm going to show you how to download a small battery charger certification packet. First, you need to identify the product category, which I'm going to go ahead and assume that small battery chargers are under electronics. So I'm going to hit electronics. And this takes me to all of the different appliance types that fall under the electronics product category. So my guess was correct. Small battery chargers is under this product category. And I'm going to click on the link for small battery chargers to either open or save this zip file, which is the certification packet. It's asking me to open it or save. I'm going to hit open. And since this is a zip file, you'll need to extract all the files within it. So I'm going to select it and hit extract all files. Select the destination for the extracted files and click extract. So you see now that the folder, the certification packet, is saved in the file destination I just designated. And now you can open it to view all the documents that are inside the certification packet. As noted previously, there are 3 files in each certification packet. There's the general instructions, there's the appliance-specific Excel template, so this is the small battery charger systems Excel template. And then there's the appliance-specific instructions, small battery chargers instructions. And there you have it. That's how you access and download and view the files inside of a certification packet.
Now here are a couple of questions on what we just covered.
Let's go over the key points of this module. Sections 1601 and 1602 give you the information you'll need to determine whether or not a product is regulated by Title 20. Second, a company can fulfill one or more roles with respect to Title 20. You can be a manufacturer, a third-party certifier, or a test lab. To perform each of these roles, you'll need to first submit appropriate documentation and then receive approval from the Energy Commission. The Energy Commission organizes covered appliances into different product categories. Each product type has specific requirements for formatting data submitted to the MAE-DBS. Certification packets are available for each product type. They include general instructions, specific instructions for each product type, and an Excel template that may be used to submit data to the MAE DBS.
And listed on your screen are a number of resources available to you to help walk through the documentation for adding appliance data through MAE DBS, including additional information, the link to certification packets, contact information for if you have questions about Title 20 compliance, and list servers that you can sign up at to receive more information. Thank you for joining us today on the documentation for adding appliance data as part of Title 20 Essentials. Your feedback is very important to us, and we'd appreciate if you fill out a brief evaluation survey to tell us what worked well in this module and what you think could be improved. You can also share your comments and questions about the Title 20 Appliance Efficiency Regulations and MAE DBS. If you want to review key points or access resources that were cited in this module, keep in mind that you may return to this module at any time. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.